Hi, welcome to the Retirement Railroad Matinee Modeling Tip of the Day. I'm Steve, and today is episode 4, part 3 of Building Chicago, Van Buren Street. In this episode we touch up some of the ballasting. When Van Buren Street was originally started a year and a half, 2 years ago, I wasn't a very good ballaster, and I didn't have the glue mix right, so a lot of it had peeled up over time. So we touch all that up. We go in and add scenic elements such as static grass, ground foam, some dead bushes using lichen, and then combinations of these things as well, using lichen covered in ground foam, different colors, so that we get numerous different effects. And keep in mind, in the grand scope of things, Van Buren Street is a scene behind a scene. You know, it's more of a background. So it's not something that's real prevalent on the layout unless one wants to look at it. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. And let me show you what we've got. Alright, so it's time for some static grass. Already started a little bit here, so let's just keep on rolling with it. Okay, so what that does is gives us our base layer. Now we got to come back in with some little tufts of weeds and bushes and things like that to help finish that section out. So hang on. Now we're gonna add a little shrubbery bit. And I've got some lichen in brown and tan, right? That I'm simply gonna dip in some Elmer's glue all, and then dip that into my ground foam. And it ends up looking like this. So once we have that, we simply put a dab of glue, and we'll put this one where we can see it. We'll put it back over here, underneath a little bit. The reason I'm putting it there is was a hole right there. So that I'll cover it up real well. Wipe the tweezers off between. Well, we're halfway done, and now let's go ahead and finish this other half. Restocked the glue bottle. here we go. We got all the scenery in. Now we've got to add the people and scene vibe. Hang on. The last thing I do when I'm after doing my scenery, grass, bushes, ground foam, that type of thing, is I like to what I call seal it in place. All right. A lot of people, you put as an example, when you build a tree, right, you take the armature, spray adhesive, typically ground foam on it, multiple layers perhaps, and then a lot of people, when that's all done, they'll use hairspray to seal it. Well, I've had less than stellar results from hairspray. Right? Matter of fact, I've got a bottle sitting down here, right, and super old, extra old, and it's Trisome or whatever, a good brand, and I just don't get the results. A lot of my older trees that are a year or two old, they're going bare just because the adhesive's not standing up to it. And if you look at my trees back along the lakeshore, they're 6 months old, and I mean you look and you don't see any of the leaves, aka ground foam, coming off of them. Right? So, and that's because I use a different process. I use a matte clear finish on my airbrush, and I just go in and I airbrush everything with this matte finish. So let me go ahead and mask off the tracks, and then we'll go ahead and do that.
3 grade is on the job.
Alright, so I've got my mixture roughly 50-50 thinner reducer versus matte clear finish, and I simply spray it out. There we go. Let that dry, pull up the tape, and we'll be done with the scenicing portion of Buren St Station and Freight Yard. Here we have the nighttime scene looking from both ends of Van Buren Street with the lights all lit up. You can see a little bit of the passengers waiting on the train. The city of Los Angeles is pulled in, ready to load and unload. So let's look at it at daytime. Let the lighting adjust some, and there you go. You can get an even a better look at it. All right. So with that, I want to thank you for joining us here at the Retirement Railroad Matinee Modeling Tip of the Day. I'm Steve, and y'all have a great day. Bye now.